Welcome into Sports Around the Bar. Today, we are blind ranking all of the quarterbacks in the NFL. And, Drew, we are starting at the bottom and working our way up.
Yeah, we're going to be going off NFL.com rankings. So it might be a little off of everyone else's, but we're going to adjust as we see fit because starting at the bottom, it's already completely off.
Now, we're doing 1 to 16 tomorrow, but today we're going to hit 32 through 17. So let's go through the guys who probably shouldn't be NFL quarterbacks, but are. At number 32, I think most of these lists have whatever the Saints have going on. I think Ritter is technically going to be the starter week 1, but we're not even 100% sure it's not going to be Tyler Shough yet. I mean,
how do you not have Spencer Rattler above Tyler Shough?
How do you? They're both second-round draft picks, just in different years. I mean, Shough was overdrafted in the sense of when he was taken, people were kind of shocked, and everybody said, "What? That was kind of a reach."
Shook?
They were definitely shook. You've been waiting to use that one for a minute. But I'll say Rattler, again, was kind of a guy that when he was taken, everybody was like, okay. I mean, he's just another depth prospect that probably isn't going to be anything. Here we are with the Shough. I mean, is it fair to say the Saints have the 32nd best quarterback situation no matter what?
I was just about to ask you, is there a quarterback situation or quarterback worse than what the Saints got going on? Because right now, when we're doing this list, we don't know who the starter is.
And in the moment, no, the Saints have the worst situation. But if you're talking about long-term, I would take whatever they have going on over Cleveland, but only a little bit. This is after Kenny Pickett was traded while this show was going on.
Tyler Huntley was cut earlier today. So
they've had multiple movements out for Cleveland. But in the moment, you take 39-year-old Joe Flacco over whatever the Saints have going on. But what if he's not there next year?
And you take Danny Dimes over whatever the Saints got going on, right?
Spoiler alert, what's coming up. But yeah, I think when you're talking about where the Saints are, right in this moment, if somebody stuck a gun to your head and said you need to win a football game, you're taking Joe Flacco over Tyler Shough or not Desmond Ritter. Spencer Rattler. Thank you.
Yeah.
They're the same person in my mind. I can't help that.
And you take Daniel Jones over whatever the Saints got going on as well.
They're not the same person, but yeah, you would. You would. I mean, experience some success, at least for Danny Dimes. Bunch of success for Flacco. Super Bowl. On top of it, even if he is 39.
I can't think of anyone worse right now instead of putting the Saints down at bottom of 32. Regardless if it's Shough, regardless if it's Rattler, they sit there.
So we'll put whatever the Saints have going on at 32. I'm ready to pencil that in.
Yeah, I think we should.
I'm just putting Saints instead of anything because we don't know who's going to start. Again, this might be a week-to-week thing all season long.
Yeah, so the next question, who goes 31? Who gets the second worst?
So at least my list was written a little bit beforehand. They had the Steelers in there. I think now that Aaron Rodgers is there, I think it's fair to say he's probably not the 31st worst quarterback.
No.
You would take Rodgers over Danny Dimes. You would take him over Flacco right now, right? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I said I took him over Purdy not that long ago, and whether he's a top 10 quarterback.
I denied that. But yeah,
we'll talk about it when he comes up. Let's not get too stuck in on what the Steelers have going on.
As I hit things, it's the Colts, right? It's whatever the Colts got going at. This is Anthony Richardson. It is Daniel Dimes.
You would take Danny Jones over Joe Flacco, though?
No, I'd take Joe Flacco over Daniel Jones.
That's what I'm saying. You would.
Yes. Yes.
Would you take him over Fields?
Yes. No, man. No. Fields over.
You take Fields over Flacco?
Yeah. No. We're not discussing further. You're getting too far ahead.
Well, that's my point here. We're would you take Fields over Daniel Jones? Because you have Daniel Jones at 31.
Yes, because even though Daniel Jones has that leg movement, being able to move with his legs, Fields has it a little bit better, right?
Sure.
And you can say Daniel Jones might, question mark, have a better arm, but it's not by a lot.
That's the thing. I think Fields has a good arm. It's just we haven't seen it with where. I'm going back to college again. I mean, we haven't seen it in the pros, but in college we saw a great passer in Fields, and maybe he was a little too much of lock onto my receiver that's going to get the ball and I'm going to throw it there. But that's like every Ohio State quarterback not named Stroud. Even Stroud did in college. He's been the one guy that's been able to adapt to the pros to not do that. So this just feels harsh to me. Daniel Jones at 31 feels a little hard. Why am I the one who has to stand up for Daniel Jones, who's, again, he has a good year of football under his belt? You would take him over Cam Ward right now. You would take him over, and I hate that I'm bringing up my team, but you would take him up over these guys that haven't really played a whole lot. You take him over Michael Penix. Right now, you'd take Michael Penix to win you a game over Daniel Jones. This is why blind rankings are so tough. We should have talked about this ahead of time.
We didn't. That's why it wouldn't make it blind.
Right. You would take Michael Penix over Daniel Jones. That's what I'm asking. Right now, you would take if you had to win a game tomorrow. Because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about in the future. We're not talking about because I think both of us agree Penix has more potential. But right now,
and yeah, I think it's so hard because we're not talking about the rest of the team around him, right?
Right.
Because if this is the case, you would say Atlanta has a little bit more of what's going on in the Colts, right? Outside Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. But even then, they have Bijan.
I mean, it's a wash.
You could say Jonathan Taylor's the better guy right now, but you could also argue that Bijan has a brighter future. To me, this is just too harsh for the Colts, I think.
Yeah, okay. You've talked me out of it, okay?
Sure.
You talk about it. So who gets the 31st? Is it Michael Penix? He hasn't really proved a whole lot. Is it Justin Fields? Is it Joe Flacco?
Is it Drake May?
No.
I mean, we see the potential, but again, what did he do with the Patriots last year? Again, what does he have around him? Nothing.
It's still a no.
Okay.
That's way too low.
Okay.
I think you're looking at either Joe Flacco, Daniel Jones, Michael Penix, or Justin Fields.
Yeah, that has kind of corrected, but if he didn't have the great 8 games at the back of the season, Bryce Young.
No, I'm not a Bryce Young fan at all. I think he's way too small for the NFL. He doesn't have the arm that smaller quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Doug Flutie had. This guy's just struggling a little bit more. Maybe it's because he didn't have a lot around him. But regardless, I don't think he's that low. I think he's close, but he's not there. I think it's Penix, it's Justin Fields, Joe Flacco, or Daniel Jones.
After this, I already wrote it down. You convinced me. I'm sorry. After this preseason, I wouldn't even hate putting Cam Ward in that list because, again, he struggled all preseason. Everything we've seen of him has been bad. I know he's a first overall pick. I would like to see him more too. And even though I know he's a first overall pick, he's a guy that, he put up numbers at Miami, but he hasn't proven anything in the pros. And everything we've said about these guys have had. You talk about Penix, you talk about Drake May. We've seen a little bit of something out of these guys that has flashed. Ward with Miami didn't even really make the play. They didn't make the playoffs.
He's going to be a development quarterback. He's not going to go out there and be like an Andrew Luck or even.
As a Titans fan, right now, I would take Daniel Jones to win a game over Cam Ward. As crazy as that is to hear, even though Cam Ward has the brighter future, everything else, if you said we need to win today, Jake, or you can never do another episode of Sports Around the Bar, I would put Daniel Jones in a quarterback if I had them both. I just would. I would. I'm sorry. I don't think Daniel Jones is the 31st best quarterback when we're talking about all these guys that don't have any experience. They may have brighter futures, but we're talking about now.
I think the experience is what allows them to be a little bit ahead because we've seen what Daniel Jones can do. That's why, the Cam Ward scenario, it's I didn't see enough of him in the NFL style play where it hurts it, where it's it didn't hurt him enough. There's not enough there to be you got to pick.
Fine. Brock Purdy, 31. Lock him in. No, I'm kidding.
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
I am not part of this.
No, no, I'm not either. Obviously a joke since we just talked about where Purdy ranks. But 31, we have to pick here.
We got to pick a quarterback that's been playing in the league. We got a quarterback that's been around for a while and hasn't really developed. And I hate to say this, but it might be Justin Fields. It might be Justin Fields. And I think the talent's better. I think his legs are better than a lot of these guys.
He's had DJ Moore in Chicago.
He's had opportunity.
He's going to have Garrett Wilson this year.
He's had opportunities. It's just not looking good. Is this where we put Justin Fields at 31?
Right now, Justin Fields and Daniel Jones. I agree because Daniel Jones had that year with the Giants where they had nothing going on and he was running like crazy and making things happen. The reason the Giants paid him that mid-tier contract is because he had the one flash year. We don't have a flash year for Fields. We have, I guess we kind of do have a flash year because he had the year where he ran the ball, if you remember, where he was rushing like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We just got to pick, dude. We got to pick. I'm picking
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. yeah. I thought the same thing. Joe Flacco.
We're picking Joe Flacco.
Why? Right, Joe Flacco.
Why are we picking Joe Flacco at 31? Why are we doing it? Because we both looked at each other and said Joe Flacco.
Because at the end of the day, he could just be totally just out of gas at 39. He could be totally done. He's not running like these guys. Like we talked about, Daniel Jones has his legs. Justin Fields has his legs. What Joe Flacco does not have his legs. And if we need to go back, if we're talked out of it in 31, again, this is why we do blind rankings. We'll just flip them. We'll flip them. Right now, we're putting Joe Flacco at 31. Who's 30th? Who's just ahead of Joe Flacco? Is it Fields? Is it Danny Dimes? Call me crazy. I'm taking Danny Dimes over Fields because I think Dimes has had even less to deal with. Like, think about the atrocious offensive lines he's had in the Giants. The Bears have been bad, but the Giants have been like 31st or worse in the offensive line for like 5 years straight or something like that, 4 or 5 years. And they've spent the high picks on the linemen, is the thing. They're spending top 10 picks on these linemen, and they're still god-awful.
They are.
So he's had less to deal with Justin Fields. DJ Moore's been a better receiver than anything Jones has had outside of maybe Malik Neighbors, who he only had as a rookie. So, to me, Fields has had the better pass catchers with Cole Kmet and DJ Moore. He's had the better offensive line, even though that's like a speculative thing because their line has also been bad. Bad, but not as bad as what the Giants have going on. So I think you look everything around, and both of these guys have one flash year, both with their legs. I'm going to hold my nose and say Fields is worse than Jones.
I'm looking at the turnovers because it's not just interceptions, it's also fumbles. We know both of these quarterbacks have problem holding on the ball. I just look up Fields. It's not pretty. At 1 year, he fumbled 9 times. It's pretty tough.
I think that also kind of goes with how long you hold the football, where when you're holding the football for a long time, you're going to have more fumbles. It's just the case, right? Like, you're going to get more strip sacks. You're going to get more defensive ends that were originally locked out of the play, Drew, but ultimately get off of their block and then come in there to tackle you. And that is one of the worst things
Daniel Jones has never fumbled the ball more than 6 times. And that was double what he did.
Even in his rushing year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Fields...
Actually, the more he rushed, the less he fumbled.
So Fields is at 30.
Fields at 30. Now the question is Daniel Jones worse than rookies? Because at some point in time, we got to get these rookies on here, right?
Is it fair to put, like, Sam Darnold and Russell Wilson down in these? Can we talk about them?
They're not there.
I hate to say that Russell Wilson is, like, in this class now, but...
He might not... Have they even named a starter?
It'll be Wilson. I mean, Dart looked good in the preseason, but it'll be Wilson. I think they're going to play it safe with Dart.
Really good in the preseason.
You know who else did? You already know who it is. I don't even have to say it. I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead and say
Another fine quarterback, the Jets.
BYU quarterback.
Don't make me.
Wilson.
Don't do it.
Yep.
Don't.
Exactly. We're not talking about the Jets.
The other Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Yeah.
Russell Wilson's brother.
Sorry, I did say Wilson when we're talking about Russell Wilson. I meant Zach Wilson. I'm sorry. Yeah, so, again, when you're talking about it, we haven't seen a regular season game out of Dart. I think it's going to be Russell Wilson. I think most signs are pointing to him starting, even if they haven't declared him the starter. I mean, you look at the preseason, Dart was working with the second team almost the entire way through. I think they're just playing it slow, and I think that's kind of smart when you're the Giants and you've had as much insecurities you've had on the offense, where it's like, outside of Malik Neighbors, what do you like about that offense, Drew? Andrew Thomas? And then after that, you're like, we need like 9 other guys, right?
Yeah.
Tracy do it for you at running back?
No, not really.
Yeah, you want better, right?
I don't think Russell Wilson falls at this point at where we at 29. I don't think he does. I think you gotta look at someone like you gotta look at Daniel Jones once again. You gotta look at Cam Ward. You gotta look at these guys that Russell Wilson has proved a lot in this league. Won a Super Bowl.
Sure.
And so is Joe Flacco, but it wasn't necessarily because Joe Flacco.
Both of them had elite defenses. I mean, you can't say that, oh, hey, Joe Flacco had a great running game and a great defense.
He had a great postseason.
You want also Russell,
his postseason was nuts.
And he also had Champ Bailey that like totally misjudged the biggest airball lollipop you've ever seen in your life. Hall of Fame cornerback Champ Bailey screwing, or future Hall of Fame. Is Champ Bailey in yet? Can you fact check me on that?
Is it this year?
Anyway, let me know in the comments if Champ Bailey's in the Hall of Fame.
He's going to let them know before I can get to it.
Regardless, the moral of the story is both of these guys have had great running games, great defenses when they won their Super Bowls, but they both still have Super Bowls. The difference is one is like...
He's in it.
The difference is one is 36, the other is 39.
2022.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I thought he was in there, and then I second-guessed myself.
If he won, it'd be a damn shame.
It would. He was one of the best cornerbacks for a generation, for sure.
Yes.
So... we have Fields locked in at 30. We have to answer 29. We picked the hard thing. It's easier to go top to bottom.
I think it's Daniel Jones.
Okay.
I think it's Daniel Jones because he was the man in New York. And you can say whatever you want about it.
He was there for a long time. He got a second contract.
Yes.
Sure.
And now he's with the Colts organization. Is it better in Indianapolis than it was in New York? The answer is no.
Maybe.
The answer is
Jonathan
no.
Taylor over. Well, I guess he had Saquon. We're forgetting he had Saquon for the beginning half of that.
Answer is no.
2,000-yard rusher as soon as he got out of New York. But I think you can make that same argument for Danny Dimes, which is that when he got out of New York, it might be better. All right, Daniel Jones, 29th. Don't love it, but he has no Super Bowl rings. 29. Locking him in.
28. This is where the
rookies.
This is where the rookies hit, right?
Yeah, Ward, right? This is Ward.
Yeah.
I mean, would you take Penix or Ward right now? Because I almost might take Ward over Penix just because we haven't seen him, where it's almost like...
And Penix has a lot working for him. I mean, regardless of what
top
we think
10
of
weapons
Atlanta.
galore, right? Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. You know how many top 10 weapons they have in Tennessee?
None.
They have Skoronski at 11 and Latham, both of which are offensive linemen.
None, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Tyler Lockett at 32 is the best we can trot out there to go with
Don't you talk crap about my Tyler Lockett. Don't
Calvin
you
Ridley.
Talk crap about Tyler Lockett.
I'm just saying the Titans paid him $4.5 million. The Chiefs could have had him if they would have called him.
Well, we obviously didn't want him. I don't know what it was, but they didn't want him.
Proving my point. You're proving my point.
I think this is Penix's spot. I really do. I think you nailed it on the head. We have seen what Penix can do. They still didn't do well, even though he took over for Kirk Cousins.
Sure.
It wasn't great. Maybe a full offseason and him being the starter in year 2, him getting all the reps of team 1. This could change. We could be looking at guy number 28, and he might be number 20, 15.
Bryce Young.
Over Penix?
That's what I'm asking.
Under Penix, you mean. Sorry.
Well, I'm asking. I mean, does
No.
Bryce Young take that spot? Because he's had 8 good games in the back half of year 2.
No.
We've only seen Penix for the back half of year 1.
Yeah, but no. Bryce Young right now is still a better quarterback than Penix.
Okay.
And I'm not a Bryce Young fan. You know that.
Bryce Young or Ward?
I think Ward's going to
First spot
fall
number
here.
27.
I think Ward's going to fall here to 27.
Because we haven't seen anything.
And everything we saw has been not good. And
we're forgetting a veteran that is quietly sneaking up the roster just because we haven't talked about him, Sam Darnold.
No, Sam Darnold's higher.
Just because of literally the Vikings year. I wish you would have been talking him up this much when I liked him coming out of USC because I could have used the support.
You're right.
I could have used somebody agreeing with me.
How dare me put him from 27 to 22 or whatever you think I was going to do.
Where's all the love here for Sam Darnold, before he got to the Vikings?
Yeah, this is Cam Ward's spot. This is where Cam Ward should fall.
Okay. I mean, I agree. We haven't seen anything out of him yet. It'd be unfair, I think, to put him over a lot of these guys. Realistically,
in all truth, I wish we didn't have to put him on the list at all.
I agree, because it's not really fair until you see him. But realistically, like having not played almost puts Cam Ward ahead of these guys when we've seen like so much bad, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Flacco deserves a little more respect than we're giving him, but almost every one of these quarterbacks we've mentioned at this point have had a big stretch of bad in there too.
When you have 6 quarterbacks on your roster and you get that once, it's not a very good sign. And I think Joe Flacco is a fine journeyman to have on your roster if you have someone like Joe Burrow and you have Joe Flacco sitting behind him, and unfortunately Joe Burrow goes down with injury and Joe jumps in. Flacco, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But you're like, I'm going to start my 2025 season with Joe Flacco. Red flags everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe I'm betraying the spirit of what we're trying to do here, because I think you might take Flacco over a couple of these guys. Like if you had to win a game, would you take Joe Flacco or Daniel Jones?
But rankings is not would you take them over.
It is for a season. We are talking about for the season for sure.
Right. But that's not what we're doing. So it does. It's hard not to say, hey, that's important to bring up, because you would, right? One drive, one play, give me Flacco. But one season,
definitely
give me Cam Ward over Flacco. And he hadn't played yet, but give me Cam Ward, because I know if it had to come down to it, Cam Ward could use more than just his arm. He's not a 39-year-old quarterback that's been torn and beat up in this league
and can't run.
Exactly. You're relying on too much for Flacco to end your season in the playoffs. That's not going to happen.
I'm going to throw a couple names in here because I think we're starting to get into that middle ground of there's a lot of them. So we have Sam Darnold, we have Russell Wilson, like we've talked about, where it's not the Russell Wilson of yesterday, it's the Russell Wilson of right now. Caleb Williams.
No,
we haven't talked about Caleb Williams.
No, but he's not. It's not here yet. Yeah, he's not here yet. You got Bryce Young. You got J.J. McCarthy.
Drake May,
you got
J.J. McCarthy.
You got Drake May. You got
Bryce
some
Young
players.
still.
Oh, I just said him, yeah. And that's actually who I want to pick at 26.
You want to go Bryce Young at 26 ahead of everybody else? There's been a lot of bad.
It's been a lot of bad.
It's entirely fair to say that like all that bad is Carolina's fault. Multiple head coaches. I mean, his head coach made it what 10 weeks before he got fired.
No.
It was the fastest firing in NFL history.
It's a lot of bad. But
last year, not this current year, by the way.
Right.
But
it's a lot of bad.
yeah.
But it's a lot of bad starting with him. I know you can say head coach. I know you can say all this. But you went to Alabama. You went to a quote-unquote NFL-style offense. You should have been coming out here running. And I know you went to a bad organization, but you know what? So did Cam Newton.
He won the Heisman at Auburn.
No. I'm talking about going to
I'm sorry, in the pros.
I'm sorry. NFL.
So did Jake Plummer. They had a management change. Does that count? Now it's Tom Dundon? Tom Dundon running it?
Dude, my point is like
he was throwing drinks at Jacksonville fans. Like I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna do an owner's power ranking, Andrew, that's 32. Lock it in. I mean, it's just when you're fighting with fans of a road team while you're at the stadium watching your team, like you're at the bottom. So, all this stuff comes down from the top. And that's kind of the thing nobody talks about in sports is like, how good is the ownership? You don't get the legacy media talking about it because they need the NFL and everyone to like them. We can talk about it all day. What are they going to do?
We're 100%.
Send the hit squad over? I mean, they're going to take it.
Again, we live on an island.
They got a lot of money. they got a lot of money.
They got to find what island we're on.
They can rent a plane. Uh-oh.
One thing we need to do, and this is completely coming off the top of my head, is NFL players do a ranking of the ownership, the food service, and the equipment and all that stuff. They do like an A plus to an F minus ranking, and we'll need to do an episode on that for sure. They do it every year. It's really interesting. We should definitely do that.
Totally agree.
But beyond that fact, this is Bryce Young spot 26, right?
Fine. I'm putting Bryce Young in there.
We can always erase it and come back.
I think we're being a little unfair to him just because, again, I love talking about with quarterbacks, what do you have working for you? And you could argue that he's had like the worst spot. I mean, look at Baker before and after Carolina. Look at Sam Darnold before and after Carolina. But we're putting him in there just because somebody has to go into 26. And there's been some bad. I think when you even going back to Alabama, there were some question marks about if he'd have what it takes to play a quarterback. I think 26 right now, when you're talking about a year and a half worth of bad quarterback play and then a couple weeks at the end of the season after everybody's basically after you're eliminated, I think we got him in the fair spot. I do. I think he's got to show us more this season if he wants to come up out of that 26 ranking.
Yeah.
Now, things stay tough. Like, do you go Caleb Williams? Do you go J.J. McCarthy, who played all of one game in the preseason last year?
No, I think this is J.J. McCarthy's spot.
Don't hate it. I would take Russell Wilson over McCarthy. I'm sorry, I'm going through the list here.
I think I like J.J. McCarthy. I like what I've seen. It's preseason. But
we just haven't seen a lot.
Right.
And even at Michigan, they played a very and play defense
I will
style.
tell you this. By week 3, I could probably tell you if he's up or down from this spot because his weapons are galore in the Vikings organization. If he can't play with this kind of roster, then he's got problems across the board. And this is not just, in a bad situation. This is a problem with just the quarterback himself. At 25, I don't think it's terrible. I just think, again, week 3, we could be changing a lot up or down.
Totally agree. And as we kind of continue, I think we're in that spot where you could really order these guys any direction you want. Yeah. We've seen some of them for very short periods of time. And that's the thing. I think most of this tier, if we were going to put this into a tier, is like needs more time to really get the best opinion of them that we're going to get. Because I think the next argument comes down to Drake May versus Caleb Williams. I mean, you have Caleb Williams. Sure.
Can I throw another name in there?
Yeah.
What about Tua?
And we still I hate Tua, but come on.
I'm asking. Guy can't stay healthy.
Gone to the playoffs. Does that put him ahead of this?
Can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
You can have all the talent in the world. You ain't on the field, what does it matter?
Right now, if you were going to win a game, would you pick Tua or would you pick Drake May? Or would
I'd pick Tua.
Would you pick Williams?
I'd pick Williams over May.
I think you've answered both of those questions. Would you pick Williams over Tua? Right now, you got to win this game, Andrew.
Yeah, right now I would. But for a full season. That's the power rankings. This is a full season here that you got.
And then-
I think Tua is talented. I've said that forever.
I disagree. I actually think he's not very
You take him out of that offense isn't good.
I think he's not very talented. I think he's lucky they traded for Tyreek Hill because otherwise he'd be out of there.
I think anyone would be lucky they traded for
yeah,
Tyreek Hill.
I think he is the best receiver in
3 years
football
ago,
right now.
4 years ago.
I think he is the best receiver in football right now, and he's like, and even then,
With
I
the
think
lack
they're
of
still leaving.
with the lack of quarterback play.
I think they're still leaving meat on the bone with Tyreek. Is what I'm saying with Tua. So while I do think he stinks, I think this is still a little rough to say like, hey, you're ahead of Drake May, who is nothing but projection. Caleb Williams, nothing but projection. I mean,
So
Chicago
you're thinking,
after week, what was it, 5, where they were in the playoff race, like fell off, and we're like, oh, we don't have to talk about Chicago anymore.
so you're thinking May, Williams, Tua. Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. And then Wilson, I think, should be in that conversation somewhere where it's like, where does Russell Wilson fall? I'm probably ahead of those guys.
You had Aaron Rodgers right after that too.
For you. I think, again, we're holding Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets against him. He got hurt for almost an entire season, sure. And then, okay, he underachieved with the Jets. You know who else has underachieved with the Jets? Everybody. Like, pretty much go back to Super Bowl III. Pretty much since then, we've had people underachieving with the Jets. So I don't think it's fair to put Rodgers down there. I think he's done too much in the past and has been that guy for long enough that I'm like, maybe it was just the Jets. And now that he's not with the Jets.
You can say that about Russell Wilson, though.
Well, can I, though? Because he failed in Denver, and now he's failing again with the Steelers.
He fell with Steelers, and now
Right.
he's
So
in
now
New
this
York.
is multiple organizations he's kind of flopped out on.
Yeah, but then I can bring up the most important thing once again is Aaron Rodgers had 2 years at New York Jets and only played one.
Wilson was hurt, though. I mean, he was hurt for the Steelers. Remember, it was all Fields for the first half of that year. And Fields was looking good to the point where they said, should we take Russell Wilson out? They even argued mid-season, should we take Wilson out for Fields?
No, they did. They did. I have to agree with that.
In the same argument, we just said Justin Fields is what? We just said he's the 30th best quarterback.
So
and
this is-
last year, the question
Are you telling me
was
this-
Russell Wilson better than Justin Fields?
All right, so number 24 is Russell Wilson, what you're telling me?
No, I would take Russell Wilson over Drake May and
bad.
Caleb Williams. I'm going May, Williams, Wilson. Who am I forgetting? We had 4. in
Aaron
there.
Rodgers.
I'm not putting Rodgers there. I'm not ready to talk about. I would put
Trevor
Rodgers ahead of
Lawrence?
Tua. I would take Lawrence over those guys. Jacksonville has been up and down, but like they've had good stretches with Lawrence multiple times.
Let's talk a little bit about Caleb Williams. We've kind of ignored that whole scenario.
Sure.
I mean, I think if I could remember correctly, he went 20 touchdowns with 6 interceptions.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the stat that Bears fans are gonna keep calling up. To
always
us.
gonna be brought up. But he did that with a less than average offensive line
but
with
three good
three
receivers.
really good receivers and
or 3 quality like
good. I said good.
Sure. I mean, DJ Moore. I think everybody's like, hey, he's the number
Oh
one.
yeah,
Or
absolutely.
he's like either side of like a true
in my
number one.
opinion, and a good tight end in Cole Kmet.
Yeah, I know you. I don't hate Kmet. I know you're higher on him than I am. I think he's a fine player. I just don't think he's a special player. Yeah, and the offensive line wasn't good, but he had options at wide receiver. Keenan Allen, who's been around the block. Roma Dunze, who was a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
That, again,
Rookie.
underachieved. Again,
Well,
two
you're,
sides of the same
you're
coin.
going to if you talk Swift as running back. I mean, it's 5 weapons that are really hard to. You're not always going to get the rock.
And it really just has come down to
And you
what
pay
is Swift
DJ
too.
and you
Yeah.
pay DJ Moore that kind of money. You throw the ball to DJ Moore.
Right. I mean, I think Caleb Williams is in a tough spot because again, the coaching system with Eberflus was obviously
Garbage.
something that needed to be changed. Yeah,
Garbage.
Yeah. That's fair.
His haircut and style didn't make his play calling any better.
That's fair.
They're going to do a lot better with Ben Johnson. I think everyone who watches football will know that it might not be year 1, but year 2 or 3, this offense in Chicago is going to look so much different. And we might be talking about Caleb Williams not being in the 20s. We might be talking about the top 10.
We also got to talk about the offensive line overhaul. They've changed out like a bunch of offensive linemen on top of it, and yeah, the Bears should be a lot better on offense. So we'll give Williams the benefit of the doubt, right?
Right.
We're gonna go Drake May or
Drake
Wilson?
May.
Drake May, just because again, a lot of bad. The Patriots are bad right now.
Yeah.
but we got to see it first, right?
Right.
Is that what we're willing to say? Drake
Yep.
May at 24.
And you put Wilson. After you just spoke about Rodgers
Wilson.
and the history of what he could do, Russell Wilson at one point in time, not that long ago, was considered the best quarterback in the NFL.
But then went to the Broncos and got all that money, and then we got to cut him early because he's
Let's ride.
And then, you're getting another chance at the Steelers with an elite defense and a tough, grinded out kind of offense. And Justin Fields is better than you.
No, I know. I just wanted to. We don't need to hash it out again. We've already done it once.
Is it Wilson?
Russell Wilson at 23 for sure. So is this now where we put Caleb Williams?
Unless you want to put Tua beneath him. I mean, I'm not ready to say Rodgers, and I think I'll fight to the death for my guy here. Where I'm going up the list. Andrew, this is Caleb Williams.
This is Caleb
unless
Williams.
you think that Tua is worse than him.
No. It's Caleb Williams. I'm agreeing with you.
I'm now not agreeing with myself because I think I'd like Tua less than I like Caleb Williams. Oh!
No,
I mean, certainly going
forward,
you would like to be in the Bears' position where it's like, well, we haven't paid him yet. We get to see
a fully healthy Tua gets you in the playoffs.
But he's not. You love saying this all the time, but he's never healthy.
Caleb Williams does not.
Okay, but when it's week 3 and he has scrambled eggs again because he's concussed.
You got to scratch all this. JJ McCarthy's the worst quarterback in the league because he hadn't even played a regular season.
Sure, I don't disagree.
I
do disagree with the fact that that's true, but like the logic is sound.
Right. You can at this point, man. I still think that Tua's above this. This is Caleb Williams spotted at 22.
Caleb Williams at 22 is Tua 21.
21. So people that could be below him, right? Trevor Lawrence, right? Aaron Rodgers. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's another name that you got to think about when you're going through this.
This list has Bo Nix beneath him, but I don't
No
agree
way.
with that. I don't
No
agree with
way.
that. They have, again, when we get to like C.J. Stroud and Kyler Murray, like I don't even think we're discussing the same thing anymore.
Sam Darnold?
Oh, we did forget about Darnold.
We didn't forget about him.
I forgot about Darnold.
Geno Smith?
We forgot about Geno Smith because Geno Smith needs to be like 29th, right? Did we forget about him?
Actually, this might be the spot that Geno Smith hits.
How did I not see Geno Smith on this list
This
at
is
all?
a guy that you spoke.
Hate.
Hold on.
I know.
Spoke up and down as better than Brock Purdy.
No, I didn't. Not Geno Smith.
I had to talk you out of it.
No. I did say that it's kind of in the same vein of like, well, they're both kind of mid-range quarterbacks, but no. What are we talking about? Geno Smith is worse than Brock Purdy.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'm misremembering that. I take that back. I apologize.
Weirdly, I don't see him on this list at all.
Well, that's a terrible list.
Sure. Again, I will say that I would. How far down do you push Geno Smith? Because we have messed up.
I brought him up, and that's why you bring. No, I brought him up because this is the spot I think he hits.
Would you take Geno Smith over Drake May, Wilson?
He had 3 years.
I'm sorry. I'm taking Russell Wilson over Geno Smith.
Hold on.
I'm not blinking.
He had 3 years in Seattle, right? One of them looked really good. The one at the first year looked really good.
We're grading on a curve because remember how bad he was for the Jets. Another Jet failed quarterback, I know, but
he looked really
stop me
good.
if you've heard this
He looked
before.
really good year 1 in the Seahawks organization. Year 2 was downfall, and year 3 was a complete flop. The fact that, in my opinion,
with great receivers,
with
great receivers is the thing,
and then
a running game with Kenneth Murray,
and that of course you got to look at Pete Carroll left.
Kenny Walker, I'm sorry.
He when Pete Carroll left, he went down, right? It wasn't as good, so there is that scenario. He's back with them, but Geno Smith, Russell Wilson's better. Russell Wilson right now is better than Geno Smith.
Can I just say I hate all of this? Like I wouldn't want any of these guys to be my quarterback.
We've already known, but you got a guy worse than that at 27.
Okay, but I'm not taking Geno Smith over Caleb Williams. I don't think I'm taking him over Drake May.
Then let's move him. Let's move them all up.
I'm going to. McCarthy or Geno. Bryce Young.
We haven't seen enough out of JJ McCarthy.
All right. So,
Bryce Young, yes.
All right, so he's
Bryce
going
Young,
to 24. Yes. We're shifting it. Geno Smith is going to 24, and everybody else is going up one spot.
So Geno Smith, 24.
At 24. Just because he's like a bridge quarterback. Next year, when the Raiders have 4 or 5 wins, you're telling me they're not drafting quarterback in a deep quarterback draft?
No, they
of
100%.
Course they are. And Geno is going to be a free agent.
24, Geno Smith. 23, Drake May. 22, Russell Wilson. 21, Caleb Williams.
Yep. Got it.
Aren't blind quarterback rankings fun?
Well, this is why you do it, just because we get to at least have these discussions. I know we forgot about Geno Smith, but I do like the blind aspect of we're getting to talk about it. And maybe at home they're not agreeing with us. They're saying Geno Smith has been
in the comments tell us why.
Geno Smith has been an average starter, and they take him over these guys that are still trying to figure it out. But for me, the Williams is the big one, where I would not take him over Caleb Williams. 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions with a questionable offensive line, to me, is better than a guy playing
in
with
a tough atmosphere in Chicago. Weather's not great.
Right.
I mean,
Defense isn't great.
Yeah, he played in New York. Yeah, he played
Coaching isn't great.
Yeah, he played in New York. Yeah, he played in Seattle. But come on, Chicago. We all know it's called the Windy City for a reason.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
At 20.
Now things get tough.
Now that we sit there and got rough.
Is it Tua's turn? Trevor Lawrence
or Tua, right? That's kind of where it's at. Aaron Rodgers.
You're still not. You're not thinking Bo Nix still. You're still saying
No
Bo Nix
way.
is way better. Okay.
No way.
Okay.
That outside the defense on Bo Nix, that team was supposed to be garbage. I think he's getting
And
close.
they made the playoffs.
I think he's getting close. He might be 17.
Okay. I mean, I
I think what you're looking at right now is we'll just say Bo Nix. In my opinion, Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, and Tua. I think these are the next.
see.
four.
I think we're being really harsh on Rodgers because he's with the Jets, and I think the other thing too is the injury.
I am an Aaron Rodgers guy, and you're you
Not
and
anymore.
you are not.
He's one of my guys now.
I
I'm literally
can
taking
tell.
one of your guys.
Who would drop in that list then? Because those are the next four guys, in my opinion.
I mean, I would take Tua.
no,
at the
no.
bottom. I'm saying I would take Tua at the bottom if I had to pick.
I'm
all of
okay
them.
with that. At 20, Tua
Yeah.
makes sense. Can't stay healthy.
Okay. Tua. Spelled that wrong. Tua.
It's 3 letters. It's pretty easy.
And I messed it up somehow. There's no W in there. I was about to put two. Yeah. Two.
So,
Anyway. Tua is at 20 only for the fact not only is the health like a major concern going forward, right? Because he's had multiple mega concussions, which to the point where they're talking about his career being over. You know, I don't think anyone else on this list has had the level of injury to the point where you're saying he might just be done.
yeah.
Where Tua has, and on top of it, he's playing with one of what I think is a very good offensive coach in Mike McDonald, and also a great, if not the best wide receiver, but a top receiver in Tua or in Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
And then you also have Jalen Waddle who's filling out the offense. You've had Jonnu Smith, who was like third or fourth as a tight end there. You're talking about all the stuff Tua has had. Yeah, the offensive line has been bad, but outside of that, he's had guys to throw to. He's had defensive players there where they haven't been bad with Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Phillips. I mean, they have defensive players. They're not like bereft of defensive talent. And yet Miami, except for 1 year, has kind of been an afterthought since he's been there.
I mean, yeah. There's also another year wonder, Sam Darnold. Should he fall at 19?
Ooh, I did forget about Darnold too. Blind rankings are great. I would...
Talking about a great offense and great weapons, I mean, that guy had all of that coming to him.
But he legitimately looked close to like MVP level when he was playing with all these guys.
Really
has Tua ever looked that good? With everything, even
Yes.
in their best year, has Tua looked that good? No,
Yes,
not that good.
Yes. The year that the first concussion, he looked out of this world good, in my opinion.
Well, one of them is on a big contract, one of them is not. So I'll leave it to you. Who would you take right now to win? I will concede this point.
Trevor Lawrence might be able to take this spot at 19.
Lawrence
Aaron Rodgers might take this point at 19.
We can't argue doing a lot with a little and not mention Jacksonville. Like, I mean, their offensive lines are terrible pretty much since he's been there. They paid Christian Kirk $20 million to be a top receiver back before it was cool. Yeah. Like, literally reset the market to bring Christian Kirk in there. Drew, I mean, come on. Like, we're being too hard on him. We're being too hard on Trevor Lawrence in terms of who he's had to throw to. He made Evan Ingram a thing. This is tough. This is tough. I can tell you're thinking, like, you're racked here. The moral of the story is you don't want any of these guys on your team. Like, we're still below replacement level, I think, where you probably want somebody else. The problem is, these days, these guys are on big contracts.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get rid of Tua. You can't get rid of Trevor Lawrence if you wanted to.
I do think this is actually where Sam Darnold falls.
Okay. So I'm taking Tua off the board. I'm spelling it right next time, but I'm taking Tua off the board.
You put Sam there because we'll see what he is in Seattle. A lot less weapons.
I think that's fair.
And it's just... But then I think Tua falls at 19.
I agree. And this is because I'm like, if there's somebody I hate more than Brock Purdy, it's Tua. Only because I don't know that he's better than Mac Jones by a whole lot.
We got 2 more spots.
That is, I know I just sent Miami fans up a wall with that. But
we got 2 more spots before this episode ends.
Yeah.
The question is it Trevor Lawrence?
Sure.
Is it Aaron Rodgers?
Okay.
Who else?
Bo Nix is in there.
No, Bo Nix is better.
Bo Nix is in there. I think we should talk about Bo Nix just for the sake of, like, it's only been 1 year. in the same vein of it was an impressive year and he did a lot with a little, but they also weren't like a top offense. It wasn't like they were competing to be the best offensive football, right?
Yeah, and if anything, he's lost weapons. Vele's been traded. He's gone.
Yeah.
So you got Mims. You got Cortland Sutton. I don't know, man. You tell me. What are you thinking? What do you got? What do you got underneath that cap of blonde hair? What are you thinking, man?
Maybe this is Lawrence's spot. I mean, even though he hasn't had a lot to work with, it's been a long time, and we haven't really seen it. Like, you talk about a guy who's living off a college reputation, you're probably talking about Trevor Lawrence, right? Where,
yeah.
I mean, I remember having arguments in this very seat, talking to your brother-in-law, who told me there's no way Trevor Lawrence flops. And yet here we are. Jake was right? I mean, that's going to come up a lot. You'll notice. Jake was right. Where Trevor Lawrence is not the sure thing that he looked like at Clemson.
Nah, about 50% of the time. The other 50% Andrew was
50% of the time works 100% of the time. But yeah.
I think this is Trevor Lawrence.
I'm seeing Dak on this list, but that's not fair to Dak. Dak is not worse than Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Dak.
Another issue with not being on the field, but yeah, no, he's not.
Okay, but like last year, Dak was hurt, but before that, Dak has been pretty consistent, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
And so is Lawrence. Lawrence was hurt for half of last year, too, where they had to play Mac Jones. And, I mean, I don't think that's fair to either of them that have been pretty consistent being on the field. Like, we haven't seen the injury. Neither one of those guys you list as injury prone, right? I mean,
sure.
I think both of those guys are fair. I think we're being unfair to say Dak is
a
worse
lot of
than
those
Trevor
guys
Lawrence.
are ending their season because the season's over for the team, and they're just like, I need to get healed for next season.
And then we have Rodgers, who I will also say is probably in this conversation. I would probably take Rodgers over Trevor Lawrence just because of the pass.
I was gonna say I think
I'm smoking the copium, Drew.
I think it goes Lawrence and it goes Rodgers. So it goes Lawrence at 18, Rodgers at 17, which would end this podcast, and we'll do 1 through 16.
Cheers. I think I can get down with that. Where even though I think Rodgers has had a lot of success, and maybe he rockets up this list if he has a bounce back year in Pittsburgh.
3-time MVP, 1-time Super Bowl winner.
What was it? The non-interception streak where he went forever without throwing a pick?
He threw 2 picks that season.
I know, and it's
with like 42 touchdowns.
It was
Don't quote me.
There were like,
but it was something.
There were like
ridiculous.
300 or 400 passes in a row without an interception.
Something ridiculous.
I think right now, I think that's fair. I think we're going to go with Trevor Lawrence at 18, and then
Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers at 17. I think that's even Rodgers over Nicks.
Yes.
Nicks over Rodgers.
Yes, I know what you meant. But yes.
Sure.
One
of these guys is going to the Hall of Fame. The other guy's had a decent first season. That's where this is hard. Where it's if I had 3 years,
it's the same thing about Drake May or J.J. McCarthy. If they have a great season this year, we might be talking to them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You talked me into it. I'm having a hard time writing it down, but you talked me into it. Rodgers at 17.
Trevor Lawrence.
And Trevor Lawrence at 18.
Guys, that would end this blind.
This is hard.
Quarterback.
Why do we say we were going to do this?
You wanted to.
I did.
This will end it, guys. Remember to like, share, hit the thumbs up button. It helps us grow. It helps us reach out to more people like you who love the NFL and love sports like we do. Please remember to comment. We will try to do our best to reach out back to you.
You stole my thunder again. Comment. Tell us what we got wrong. Tell us what we got right. Again, we're just two guys that have a little bit of an opinion on the NFL. You know, we watch a little bit of football, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think. Who do we get too high? Who do we get too low?
And we're drinkers, just like I think everyone else is.
I think more than likely. I mean, if you watch the Titans, you have to drink. Like, that's just the rules. Start them early. Yeah, again, let us know who we got right, who we got wrong. We want to hear all about it in the comments, and we will, if we can, reply to that because we want to hear from you. So, for Sports Around the Bar, I'm Jake. This is Drew. Catch us next time because we're going to do 1 through 16. Make sure you're there for that.
See ya.